Welcome back, survivors. Before the story starts, tap subscribe and comment where you're tuning in from. I'm dropping another story tomorrow and you'll want to catch it first. They're eating her right now. Through the monitor, I can see them eating the old woman with the walker, and all I can think is, I let them on my train. I checked their IDs. I smiled. One of them is my co-worker. His name was Marcus, and we used to share coffee, and now he's ripping someone's throat out with his teeth. The military just gave me clearance to seal this train. 42 people inside. I have the key in my hand, and the little girl who waved at me is banging on the glass, screaming, "Please, mister, please, da." Do I turn it? Do I lock them in to die? Or do I open the door and let the infection spread through every tunnel in this city? My name is Javier Morales. I'm 41 years old. Transit officer, Sea Line, evening shift. If you're hearing this recording, I'm probably dead. Or worse, I need to start at the beginning, not the beginning of tonight, the beginning of 3 years ago, because that's when this really started. That's when I became the kind of man who could make the choice I'm about to make. The Red Line Derailment, February 14th, 2022. Valentine's Day. You remember the news coverage? Tragic accident, claims, 43 lives. They showed my picture for about 3 seconds before the lawyers made them stop. Operator error during emergency braking procedure. That's what the official report said. What it didn't say was that I was reading a text message, my daughter Sophia's school. She'd gotten into another fight, the third one that month, and I was so tired, so damn tired of being the parent who got those calls, of being the dad whose kid was spiraling and I couldn't figure out how to stop it. 4 seconds, that's how long I looked at my phone. 4 seconds, while the train was doing 70 in a 45 zone tunnel approach. The brake system had been flagged for maintenance 2 days prior, delayed due to staffing. 4 seconds of distraction plus faulty brakes equals 43 body bags. They cleared me. Technically, the brake failure was the primary cause, but I knew, everyone knew, and I couldn't go home and look at Sophia and pretend I hadn't just killed 43 people because I was reading about her detention. She stopped talking to me after that. Not immediately. It took 6 months. 6 months of me showing up drunk to her soccer games, missing her birthday, sleeping in the guest room because I couldn't stand my wife's silent accusations every morning. 6 months before Sophia looked me in the eye and said, "I wish you'd died in that crash instead of them." She was right. Tonight started normal. 11:47 p.m., departure Central Station. I counted the passengers boarding, 42 total. I always count now. Can't help it. Every face is someone who's trusting me to get them home alive. There was this mum with a little girl. The girl had a stuffed rabbit, one ear missing. She waved at me through the window when they sat down. I waved back. She reminded me of Sophia at that age, before everything went to hell. 3 stops in, the radio crackled with the first warning. Shelter in place for sectors 7 through 12. Possible chemical exposure. Chemical exposure. Right, that's government speak for something's gone catastrophically wrong, but we don't want you to panic yet. I've been doing this job long enough to know when they're lying. At Meridian Plaza, 3 guys got on maintenance coveralls, no company logo. That was the first red flag. Metro Transit maintenance always has logos. Always. It's policy. One of them had his hand wrapped in what looked like a torn shirt, blood seeping through. Another was sweating like he'd just run a marathon, face grey like old meat. I should have stopped them, should have called it in, but I was tired and my shift was almost over and I just wanted to get these 42 people home so I could go back to my empty apartment and not sleep. So I let them on. We were between Meridian and Holbrook when the grey-faced one collapsed, just dropped like someone cut his strings. Passengers started yelling, backing away. The guy seized on the floor, violent, his head cracking against the support pole. Blood pooled underneath him. 7 seconds of silence. Then his eyes opened. Not opened, snapped open. Pupils dilated so wide they looked completely black. And he lunged at the businessman sitting 2 seats over, moving faster than any human should move. That's when the screaming started. I hit the emergency brake. The train lurched, throwing people forward. Lights flickered. For a moment, everything went dark except the emergency lighting. That sickly green glow that makes everyone look like corpses. Through the security camera, I watched it spread. The other 2 maintenance workers, Marcus. I recognized Marcus. We'd worked the same depot for 2 years. They started attacking people near them, not punching, not fighting, biting, tearing with their teeth. The old woman with the walker went down first. The nurses tried to pull them off her. One of the nurses got bitten, started convulsing within seconds. And then I understood this wasn't a chemical exposure, this wasn't an accident, this was an outbreak. An infection, and it was spreading through my train like wildfire. Red line, not responding, repeat. Red line, not responding. Multiple casualties at Central Station requesting immediate. Containment failure at Depot 7, all units. For God's sake, seal the tunnels, seal the tunnels. Every line, every station. The entire metro system was going down, and my train was sitting in a tunnel dead in the water. With an infection spreading through the passenger car, I looked at the monitor, counted the infected. 4, no, 5, 6. The businessman was turning now, his movements becoming jerky and wrong. 36 passengers left, 36 people still human, including the little girl with the rabbit.
Transit Command, this is Biohazard Response Unit 3. Under Directive 77 Echo, you are authorized to implement hard containment on all compromised vehicles. Lockdown immediately. Repeat, lockdown immediately. Lethal force authorized for breach attempts.
My hand found the containment lock without thinking. It's right here, next to the door controls. 1 turn clockwise, and the bulkhead door between my cab and the passenger car seals completely, airtight. No way in, no way out. The passenger car becomes a tomb. I looked at the monitor again. Found the little girl in the back corner, pressed against her mother. The mother had her arms wrapped around her daughter, protecting her. The mother's shoulder was bleeding. A bite. Fresh. The blood was still bright red. The infection takes 7 minutes to turn someone. I've watched it happen 6 times now on this monitor. 7 minutes from bite to whatever they become. The mother was bitten 4 minutes ago. She has 3 minutes left, 3 minutes before she turns and attacks her own daughter. Before that little girl who waved at me, who trusted me to get her home safe, gets torn apart by her own mother. I could open the door, try to get them out, try to save some of them, but the radio's clear, the entire system is compromised. If I open this door, if I let even one infected person into the tunnel network, they'll spread through every connected line, every station, every platform where people are waiting thinking they're safe underground. Thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands, all dead because I made the same mistake twice, because I was too weak to do what needed to be done. The little girl starts crying. Her mother's eyes are glazing over. The lock is in my hand now. Cold metal. Just 1 turn. But I keep seeing Sophia's face. Keep hearing her voice. I wish you died instead of them. Maybe she was right. Maybe I should have. But I didn't. I survived. And 43 people didn't get to go home because of my 4 seconds of distraction. 2 minutes left. The little girl is looking at the camera now. Somehow, She's looking right at me through the monitor, like she knows I'm watching, like she knows I'm the only one who can help her. She mouths something. I can't hear it through the sealed door, but I can read her lips. Please. The lock turns, just a fraction. Not enough to seal, not enough to open. What do you do when there's no right choice? When every option leads to death, just different death, different numbers, different faces. What do you do when you've already failed once and the universe gives you a second chance to fail in exactly the same way?
All transit officers, containment is mandatory. Repeat, mandatory. Failure to comply is considered an act of bioterrorism under Emergency Statute 47. You have 60 seconds to confirm lock status.
60 seconds. The little girl is still looking at me. Her mother's head is tilting at an angle that's not quite right. Eyes starting to go black. 1 minute until they demand confirmation. 90 seconds until the mother turns completely. I killed 43 people because I looked away for 4 seconds. How many will I kill if I look away now? The lock freezes in my hand. Not because I stopped turning it, because suddenly I'm not here anymore. I'm back on the red line. February 14th, 2022, 7:43 a.m. The phone buzzes in my pocket. I should ignore it. Protocol says no phones while operating. But it's Sophia's school. I recognize the number, and she's been struggling so hard lately. Missing classes, fighting with other kids, coming home with bruises she won't explain. I glance down, just a glance, 4 seconds. The text reads, Mr. Morales, Sophia has been involved in an altercation. Please call immediately. 4 seconds of reading, 4 seconds of my heart sinking, 4 seconds of wondering where I went wrong as a father, 4 seconds while the train approaches the tunnel curve at 70 miles per hour. I look up and the tunnel wall is right there, coming too fast, and my hand slams the brake lever, but there's that half-second delay, the mechanical lag they'd reported 2 days ago but hadn't fixed, and the brake system engages, but it's not enough, not fast enough, and the curve is right there. Metal shrieking, glass shattering, screaming that never ends. The derailment lasted 6 seconds. 6 seconds of the world breaking apart. The lead car jackknifed, throwing passengers into walls, into each other, into twisted metal that used to be safety rails. The sound, God. The sound was like the earth splitting open. When it stopped, the silence was worse. 43 people boarded that train. 19 survived. 24 died on impact or in the hours after, bleeding internally, skulls fractured, bodies crushed by metal that folded like paper. I'm in the conductor's cabin. My hand is on the containment lock. The mother in the passenger car has 60 seconds left before she turns. But I can't move, can't turn the lock, can't open the door. I'm frozen between 2 moments, past and present, and people are dying in both. Monitor flickers. Present day. The mother's convulsions are getting worse. Mommy? The little girl's voice cuts through the door's thick metal, muffled but clear enough. Mommy, you're hurting me. The mother's grip on her daughter is tightening, not a hug anymore, a seizure. Her fingers are digging into the girl's arms, leaving marks. The girl tries to pull away but can't. 45 seconds.
Transit Officer Morales, C-Line Unit 7. Confirm containment status. Over.
My voice won't work. Throat's too tight. I can see my reflection in the monitor's black edges, hollow-eyed, grey-skinned, looking exactly like Marcus did before he turned. Maybe I'm already infected. Maybe I've been infected for 3 years. Morales, respond. This is Biohazard Command. Confirm hard seal or we're sending a termination unit to your location. Termination unit, that means kill everyone on this train, including me. The mother's eyes snap, fully black. Timer hits 0. The transformation is instant. 1 second she's a woman fighting to hold her daughter. The next, her head snaps toward the girl with predator precision. jaw unhinging, teeth bared. The girl screams, a sound that goes straight through the bulkhead door, straight through my chest, straight into the part of my brain where Sophia's voice still echoes. I wish you'd died instead of them. One of the nurses, the one who wasn't bitten yet, lunges forward and yanks the girl away. The mother thing grabs at empty air, then turns its attention to the nearest person. The bourbon breath businessman, already infected, meets her with matching black eyes. They don't fight each other. They hunt together. The nurse runs with the girl toward the back of the car, toward my door, toward me. She's pounding on the metal now, screaming, "Open the door, for God's sake, open the door!" Counting, always counting. 11 infected now. 31 still human. But the humans are trapped in a metal tube with monsters, and there's nowhere to run except toward me. The nurse's name tag is visible through the camera. Linda. Her name is Linda. She's got the little girl clutched against her chest, using her own body as a shield. Behind them, the infected are closing in. Not fast. They don't run, don't sprint. They move with this horrible patient certainty, like they know their prey has nowhere to go. Turn it right. Seal the door. 31 people die. The infection is contained. The city above survives. Turn it left. Open the door. Let Linda and the girl into my cabin. Maybe I can save them. Maybe just them. Maybe I can be a hero for once instead of a killer. But what if Linda's already infected? What if the girl is? What if I open this door and let the outbreak spread through my cabin, into the tunnel system, into every connected line? Sophia's voice in my memory says, "You always make the wrong choice, Dad." She said that once. After I missed her high school graduation because I was drunk in a bar, trying to forget the derailment, she said, "You always make the wrong choice, and then you make everyone else suffer for it." Linda's kept screaming. The infected are 10 feet away, 8 feet. "Please, she's just a child, please." The little girl isn't screaming anymore. She's too scared to scream. Her eyes are locked on the camera, on me, and I can see her lips moving. Not please this time. "Help!" Just that one word. Help. My hand moves. The lock turns, but which direction? The radio explodes with voices. "Morales, confirm status, now, or you're in violation of. I rip the radio off my belt and smash it against the control panel. Plastic shatters. The voices cut out. Silence. Just for a second. Then Linda's fists on the door. Bang, bang, bang. The infected 6 feet away now. Scrape, scrape, scrape of fingernails on metal seats. My breathing, in, out, too fast, hyperventilating, the lock in my hand. Click, click, click as I turn it. The lock engages. I turned it right. The door is sealed. Linda's screaming changes pitch, from desperate to disbelieving. "No, no, you can't. You promised we'd go home." I never promised that, never said a word to her, but I smiled at the little girl when she waved. I smiled like everything would be okay. That was the promise. The unspoken one, and I just broke it. The infected reach them. Linda puts the girl behind her, facing the monsters alone. I can't watch, but I can't look away. The monitor shows everything in crisp, horrible detail. Linda, fighting with everything she has, kicking, punching, biting back, buying seconds. The little girl cowers behind her, clutching that stupid rabbit with the missing ear. My voice, broken, speaking to the empty cabin. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. But sorry doesn't save anyone. Sorry didn't save the 43 people on the red line. Sorry won't save Linda or the little girl or any of the 31 people I just condemned to death. Linda went down, the infected swarm over her. The little girl runs. Somehow, impossibly, she finds a gap in the mass of bodies and runs. She's small enough to slip through, fast enough to get 10 feet before they notice. She runs straight to my door, slams her tiny fists against it. Her face fills the camera's view, tears streaming, nose running, mouth open in a wordless scream. And then her voice, clear as day, through the intercom, I forgot I left on. You promised we'd go home. My hand is on the lock again. I could reverse it, could still open it, could let her in. But Linda's body is twitching on the floor behind her. 7 minutes. She has 7 minutes before she turns, and there's another monster in that car.
All stations, this is Central Command. Containment has failed. Repeat, containment has failed. Depot 7, Depot 12. All red line stations are.
Static swallows the rest. Then, cutting through the interference, one final transmission. Containment breach confirmed. Metro system is lost. God help us all. The little girl's fists go quiet. She's looking at me through the camera. She's not crying anymore. Not screaming. Just staring. Like she's memorizing my face. Like she wants me to remember her when an infected hand grabs her shoulder. The scream that follows is the worst sound I've ever heard. Worse than the derailment. Worse than Sophia's voice telling me she wished I was dead. It's the sound of every wrong choice I've ever made, all at once. My fist hits the monitor. Glass cracks. The screen goes black, but I can still hear her screaming. And I know I'll hear it forever. I'm on my knees, don't remember falling. The conductor's cabin floor is cold against my palms. Concrete dust and metal shavings grinding into my skin. My fist is bleeding where I punched the monitor. Glass embedded in the knuckles. I can't feel it. Can't feel anything except the weight of what I just did. The screaming stops. That's worse. So much worse. When someone stops screaming in a situation like this, it means one of two things. They escaped or they didn't. And there's nowhere to escape to in a sealed subway car. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. The cabin feels smaller now, like the walls are pressing in. Claustrophobia clawing at my throat. I've worked underground for 15 years, never bothered me before, but right now I can feel every ton of earth and concrete above my head. Feel the tunnels stretching endlessly in both directions. Feel the weight of being buried alive. Buried with what I've done. Sound returns. Wet sounds. Tearing. Feeding. Oh God, they're eating her. Right now. On the other side of this door, 3 feet away from me. The little girl who waved, who trusted me, who said, "You promised." Retching. I started vomiting. Nothing comes up but bile. My stomach is empty. Haven't eaten since this morning, 18 hours ago. Back when I was just a transit officer with PTSD and guilt. Back when I'd only killed 43 people. Now it's 73. 30 people still alive in that car when I sealed it. 30 lives I could have tried to save. But I chose the city over them. Chose thousands of theoretical deaths over 30 real ones. That's what makes it murder, right? The choice, the intention. They know I'm in here. The infected. They can probably smell me. Living flesh, uninfected blood. Listen. They're pressed against the bulkhead door. Scratching. Searching for a way through. The door's rated for tunnel pressure and emergency impacts. 3 inches of reinforced steel. They're not getting through. But I'm not getting out either. I'm trapped. The train's dead in the tunnel between Meridian Plaza and Holbrook Street. No power, no comms. I destroyed the radio. The emergency backup systems only run for 6 hours, and we're already 3 hours into this nightmare. 3 hours left of lights, then darkness. Darkness with 30 infected bodies on the other side of a door I can't open. A sound, different. Not scratching, tapping Morse code. Someone in the passenger car is tapping Morse code on the door. My heart stops, then pounds so hard it hurts. Morse code means someone's still alive, still human. Still thinking clearly enough to communicate. Tap, 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 tap. SOS. Then more tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. HELP. Hello? My voice is hoarse. Broken. Is someone there? Are you okay? Stupid question. Nobody in that car is okay. More tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. FIVE. 5? 5 what? 5 infected, 5 survivors. I wait. Blood pounding in my ears, infected moaning and scratching just inches away, but underneath it, the tapping continues. ALIVE 5 alive. 5 out of 30. 5 people survived the initial attack and haven't turned, which means 25 are dead or infected, which means I sealed that door with 5 survivors trapped inside with 25 monsters. The tapping becomes frantic. B A R R I C A D E D. They barricaded themselves. Smart. Using seats, luggage, bodies probably, creating a barrier between them and the infected. B A T H R O O M. The bathroom. They're in the emergency bathroom at the back of the car. It locks from the inside. Steel door. Not as strong as my bulkhead, but strong enough. Maybe. K I D. My breath catches. A L I V E. The little girl. She's alive. Something breaks inside me. Not sure if it's hope or horror. The girl. I'm pressed against the door now, hands flat on the metal like I could reach through it. The little girl with the rabbit. She's alive. One tap. Yes. How? I saw them grab her. More tapping. NURSELINDA. Linda, the nurse who fought, who bought time, who I watched go down under a swarm of infected. SAVEDH. Linda's alive too? 2 taps. No, the message continues. TURNED. Linda turned, but not before throwing the girl into the bathroom. Not before saving her one last time. 5 survivors. One's the little girl, 4 adults, locked in a bathroom, surrounded by 25 infected, who know exactly where they are. The bathroom has food storage, emergency rations, water. Enough for maybe 2 days if they ration hard. 3 if they're willing to die slowly of dehydration instead of quickly by teeth. And I have 3 hours of backup power left before the lights die and the life support cuts out. Decision point. Again, always another decision. I could leave them, wait for rescue. Military's top side. They'll have to clear the tunnels eventually. Might take days, might take weeks, but eventually someone will come. Except the final transmission said, "Metro system is lost." Said, "God help us all." Nobody's coming. The tapping starts again, desperate now. P-L-E-A-S-E. Same word the little girl said. Please. O-P-E-E-N. They want me to open the door, let them into the cabin with me. 5 survivors, 1 little girl who already thinks I betrayed her once. But opening that door means fighting through 25 infected to reach the bathroom. Means breaking the seal I just killed 30 people to create. Means risking everything on a rescue mission that'll probably just add 6 more bodies to my count. The infected heard the tapping too. They're at the bathroom door now. I can hear it through the metal, pounding, shrieking, trying to break through. The bathroom door won't hold forever. Those locks aren't designed for sustained assault. How long? Hour? 2? Less than that, much less. The tapping becomes frantic. H-E-L-P-U-S, then P-R-O-M-I-S-E. That word again. Promise. I can't. Don't you understand? I can't make another mistake. Can't open that door and let this spread. Can't. The tapping interrupts. S-Y-S-T-E-M-L-O-S-T. They heard the transmission too. They know the metro's already compromised. Know that keeping them sealed in changes nothing now. A-L-R-E-A-D-T-Y-D-E-A-D. We're all already dead. They're just asking me to choose how they die. Together, fighting, or alone trapped. Listening to monsters break down the door. The bathroom door splinters louder, a crack, then another. Time's up. Decision time. Same as before, but different. Before I chose thousands over 30, now there's no thousands to save. Just 5 people, 1 child, and me. My hand finds the containment lock again. If I open it, I need a plan. Can't just unlock and hope. Need to clear a path, get to the bathroom, bring them back. That's 20 feet through a car full of infected. I have a fire axe, the emergency locker, a flare gun, a first aid kit that's useless against what's in that car, an axe and a flare gun against 25 infected. Sophia's voice echoes. You always make the wrong choice. Maybe, but this time at least I'm choosing something instead of freezing. This time I'm not reading a text message while people die, but... The lock turns, left this time. Opening. The mechanism disengages with a hiss of equalized pressure. The door doesn't open yet. There's a manual lever, requires 2 hands and a hard pull. 3 seconds to open it completely, 3 seconds to commit to either heroism or suicide. Probably both. I grab the fire axe. It's heavy, solid, real. The infected hear the lock disengaging. The scratching stops. For one moment, everything's silent. Then they scream, all of them, all 25, a chorus of inhuman hunger that vibrates through the door. My hands on the lever, counting down. 3, 2. The bathroom door splinters completely. A little girl screams. 1. I pull the lever. The door opens. The smell hits first. Blood, decay. Something chemical and wrong underneath it all, like burnt copper mixed with spoiled meat. The stench is so thick I can taste it, coating my throat, making me gag. But I don't have time to vomit. They see me. All of them. At once, 25 infected, 25 pairs of black eyes, locking onto living flesh. For one frozen moment, nobody moves. They're scattered throughout the car, some standing, some crouched over bodies, some pressed against windows, like they forgot what glass was. Then they lunge. Marcus is the closest, was the closest. The blade catches him in the shoulder, doesn't go clean through, hits bone. He doesn't feel it, doesn't even flinch. just keeps coming, teeth snapping at my face. I kick him back, pull the axe free. Blood sprays across my uniform. Dark, almost black. It doesn't smell like blood should. They're everywhere, coming from all directions. The businessman with bourbon breath grabs my left arm. I bring the axe down one-handed, awkward, catches him in the skull. He drops. Another one immediately takes his place. One of the other maintenance workers' face I don't recognize because half of it's missing. Swing, step, swing, duck, swing. The axe is already getting heavy. My arm's burning. I've made it maybe 6 feet into the car. 14 feet to go, might as well be 14 miles. A hand grabs my ankle. I go down hard. The floor's slick with blood and other things. My knee hits something soft. Don't look, can't look. If I look, I'll see which body it is and I'll stop fighting. The infected swarm. 3, 4, 5 of them converging. Hands grabbing, pulling, teeth reaching for exposed skin. The flare gun. Emergency pocket. One shot. I fire straight up. The flare explodes in the enclosed space. Blinding white-red light and a shriek of burning phosphorus. It hits the ceiling, bounces, lands on one of the infected. Her clothes catch fire immediately. She doesn't notice, but the others react to the light. Heads turning, momentarily distracted. Predators confused by sudden brightness. 3 seconds. That's all I get. I'm up and moving, shouldering through grasping hands. The burning infected spreads fire to the others. They're packed so tight that the flames jump between bodies. The car is filling with smoke. 8 feet now. Halfway. The bathroom door is visible, splintered, hanging on one hinge but still partially blocking the doorway. Someone's screaming from inside the bathroom. They're coming through. Oh God, they're... A man's voice, panicked, then a crash, then silence. 4 infected are at the bathroom entrance, clawing through the gap, pulling the broken door wider. I can see hands inside trying to push them back. Small hands, child hands. I hit the closest infected at a dead run. Axe raised, the blade comes down on the back of its skull. The old woman with the walker, I realize distantly. Was. The old woman who was. Not anymore. Second infected turns. I swing sideways, catch it in the throat, kicks it backward into the other 2. They stumble, tangled together. The bathroom, finally. 10 feet away becomes 5, becomes... A infected nurse, not Linda, a different one, comes from my blind side, tackles me into the bathroom doorframe. My head hits metal. Vision doubles. The axe falls from my grip, clatters somewhere I can't see. She's on top of me, teeth inches from my face, breath that smells like death. A gunshot. Impossibly loud in the enclosed space. The nurse's head snaps back. She collapses sideways. Behind her, standing in the bathroom doorway, is a man in a security uniform holding a smoking pistol. Transit police. Not one of mine. Different division, maybe blue line. He's shaking so hard. The gun's barely aimed. "Get in here!" he screams. I'm dragged into the bathroom. Bodies press against me. Survivors, real people. Warm skin instead of cold flesh. The security officer fires twice more into the mass of infected pushing through the door. Then someone slams it shut. What's left of it? A metal cabinet is shoved against it. Luggage, a seat torn from its bolts. Barricade complete. Everyone is breathing hard. 5 survivors, like the Morse code said. The security officer with the gun. 2 other men, one in a business suit, one in maintenance coveralls that make my stomach turn until I see his face is scared, not dead. A woman, middle-aged, bleeding from a gash on her forehead, and the little girl. She's in the corner, clutching the rabbit, staring at me. She doesn't cry, doesn't speak, just stares with eyes that are too old for her face, eyes that watched her mother turn, watched me seal the door, watched Linda die saving her, eyes that are accusing me of every single thing I am. The security officer is talking. Been in here for 2 hours, thought we were dead. Bathroom door was holding, but then they started actually coordinating, working together to break through. That's not how infection works. They're not supposed to. Slow down, I manage. My voice is ragged. What's your name? Chen, Officer David Chen, Blue Line Transit Police. Sure. I was doing a routine platform check when it started, got on this train trying to escape Central Station, and he stops, swallows hard. Everyone from Central is dead, everyone. The businessman survivor speaks up, late 30s, expensive watch covered in blood. It started at the depots. I worked at Transit Authority Administrative. Got a call 2 hours before my shift ended. Maintenance crews in Depot 7 started attacking each other. Command thought it was a chemical leak at first. By the time they realized it was biological, it had spread to 4 more depots. My blood goes cold. 5 depots? How many? 140 maintenance workers, all infected, all sent into the tunnels before anyone realized what was happening? He laughs, bitter and broken. We infected ourselves, sent them through every line, every station. By the time Command figured it out, the system was already compromised. The maintenance worker survivor, the non-infected one, shakes his head. I was at Depot 7. Saw it start. My supervisor, Luis, came back from a routine tunnel inspection acting weird. Said there was something in the old sealed-off sections, something that bit him. 15 minutes later, he attacked the whole crew. Sealed-off sections, the old tunnels. Parts of the metro that have been closed for decades, condemned after structural failures, cave-ins, floods, areas that are supposed to be permanently locked, pieces falling into place. Horrible pieces. The infection came from the abandoned tunnels, I say slowly. Something down there, something old. Chen nods. The radio chatter before everything went dark. They were saying Depot 7's inspection crew had breached a sealed section from the 1960s, found something, didn't report it properly. The woman with the head wound finally speaks. Voice weak but clear. My husband worked historical preservation for the city. Used to talk about the old tunnels, said there were stories, people going missing in the 50s and 60s during construction. Whole crews, they sealed sections off and claimed it was structural damage, but he always thought, she coughs, blood on her lips. He thought something happened down there, something they covered up. The bathroom door shudders. The infected are pushing again. We all freeze. The barricade holds barely. Chen checks his gun. 4 bullets left, Mung. Maybe 5 minutes before they break through. The little girl finally speaks. First time since the attack. I know how to get out. Everyone turns, stares. She stands up, walking to the corner of the bathroom, where an access panel is mounted low on the wall, maintenance access. Her small fingers trace the edges. Mummy used to work for the city. She showed me maps. All the trains have crawl spaces, emergency tunnels between the walls. She looks at me. You can fit. Adults can fit. It goes to the service passage. Chen moves to the panel, pulls it open. Inside, darkness and a tunnel barely 2 feet wide. She's right. Service crawlways, they run parallel to the main tunnel. We'd have to crawl, but it connects to emergency exits every quarter mile. The businessman shakes his head. Quarter mile crawling in pitch darkness with those things hunting us? We'll never make it. We'll definitely never make it if we stay here, Chen snaps back. Decision time, again, always another choice. Stay here and fight 4 bullets against 25 infected. Or crawl into the darkness and hope we find an exit before the infected find us. I look at the little girl. She's holding the rabbit, waiting for me to decide. What's your name? I ask her. Emma. Emma, if we do this, if we go into that crawl space, you need to stay between adults. Stay quiet. Can you do that? She nods. Then, are you going to leave us again? No, I say, and I mean it. Not this time. The barricade cracks. Something's coming through. Move! Chen shouts. Emma goes first, crawling into the darkness. Then the woman, the businessman, the maintenance worker. Chen fires his last shots into the infected breaking through, then dives into the crawl space. I'm last, always the one who has to turn around and see what's chasing us. 25 infected faces pressed against the bathroom entrance, screaming, reaching. I drop into the crawl space, pull the access panel closed behind me. Total darkness, 6 people breathing. Something scratching at the panel already. Which direction? Chen's voice, disembodied in the black. Emma answers, left, follow the air current, there's an exit. How do you know? Mommy taught me before she... A pause. Before... We start crawling. The darkness is absolute and suffocating. Behind us, the scratching gets louder, then stops, which is worse, because now we can't hear where they are. Something drips on my hand from above. I smell it before I understand what it is. Blood. Fresh blood. Coming from somewhere ahead in the tunnel. Emma's voice, small and terrified. There's someone in here with us. Silence. 6 people holding their breath in absolute darkness. Nobody moves. Can't see a hand in front of my face, let alone what's ahead in this tunnel. The only sounds are our breathing, too loud, too fast, and that steady drip, drip, drip of blood hitting metal somewhere in front of us. Chen's voice, barely a whisper. Emma, how do you know someone's... I can hear them breathing, different from us, wet, wrong. Breathing, ragged and thick, like lungs full of fluid, coming from maybe 15 feet ahead where the crawl space curves. Not the mechanical panting of the infected we left behind. This is slower, deliberate, almost thoughtful. The businessman's voice cracks. We need to go back. Now. Back to the bathroom. We can... The bathroom's compromised. Chen cuts him off. They broke through. We go back. We die. We go forward. We die. Metal scraping, cloth rustling, and that breathing, getting closer. My hand finds the axe I'm still clutching. Fat lot of good it'll do in a space where I can barely lift my arms, can't swing, can't maneuver. Just crawl forward or backward, that's it. Emma whispers, it's not one of the fast ones. I can tell by how it moves. Fast ones? I ask. The ones from the train. They move fast. Chase. This one's different. It's... She pauses, thinking. It's been here longer. The maintenance worker speaks up, voice shaking. Luis, my supervisor, before he turned completely, he said something. Said the thing in the old tunnel was waiting war. Like it had been there for years. Years. Decades, maybe. Since the 1960s, when they sealed these sections. The breathing gets closer. 10 feet now, maybe less. Chen's flashlight clicks on. The beam cuts through the darkness, and I immediately wish it hadn't. What we see, a man. Was a man. Hard to tell anymore. He's wedged in the crawl space about 8 feet ahead, body twisted at angles that aren't possible with functioning joints. Dressed in maintenance coveralls, not modern ones, old canvas style, patches that say Metro Transit Corp. Est 1962. His face is turned toward us, eyes open, black, like the others, but different. These are sunken, desiccated, skin grey and papery, stretched tight over skull, lips pulled back showing teeth that are filed sharp. Not broken. Filed. Deliberately, though. He's been here for 60 years. And he's smiling. The woman with the head wound gasps. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've seen that face. My husband had old newspaper clippings, missing persons from 1963. Marcus Holloway, lead maintenance supervisor, disappeared during the tunnel expansion with 3 other workers. They never found the bodies. The thing that was Marcus Holloway tilts its head, listening. That smile never wavers. It speaks. Voice like rust scraping stone. 4 of us went down, into the old place, the deep place, where the city buried its mistakes. Everyone freezes. The infected don't talk. They scream, they moan, but they don't talk. Chen's gun is up. Hands shaking so hard the flashlight beam wobbles. Stay back! Stay the hell back! So much anger, Holloway rasps. So much fear, that's what it feeds on. You know, your terror, your guilt, makes the meat taste better. The businessman is hyperventilating that. This isn't real, this isn't happening. Infected don't talk, they don't think, they just, we're not infected. Holloway's smile widens. We're transformed, the first ones, the original strain. Been down here 63 years, waiting for someone to open the door. His black eyes fix on the maintenance worker. Your friend Luis opened the door. Finally. After all this time. The sealed sections weren't sealed because of structural damage. They were sealed because of this. Because something happened in 1963. Something that created Holloway and the others. I find my voice. What did you find down there, in the deep place? Holloway's head rotates, too far, vertebrae cracking, until he's looking directly at me. Not found. Released. It was always there, under the city, before the metro, before the buildings, before people thought they owned this earth. That's insane, Chen says, but his voice wavers. Is it? Holloway laughs, a wet, choking sound. Your science calls it a fungus, parasite, virus. It's none of those. It's old, it's patient. And it's been waiting for the city to grow large enough, crowded enough, connected enough. He gestures vaguely at the tunnel walls. Your metro system. Hundreds of miles of tunnels, millions of people flowing through every day. The perfect breeding ground, the perfect distribution network. The infected weren't an accident, they were the plan. You did this on purpose, I breathe. You and the others, you've been spreading it, infecting the maintenance crews, waiting for it to reach critical mass. We've been preparing the feast, that smile again. And tonight, the feast begins. Emma's voice, clear and brave despite the terror. You're going to kill everyone. Holloway looks at her. Something flickers across his desiccated face, not quite emotion, more like recognition. Not kill, little one. Transform. Make them part of something greater. Something that will outlive your brief, flickering existence. He pauses. Your mother understood. In the end, when the change took her. I could feel her join us. Feel her thoughts dissolve into the collective. Emma screams, lunges forward, tiny fists raised. I grab her, hold her back. She's crying now, fighting against my grip. She wasn't part of anything. She was my mummy. Holloway doesn't react to her rage, just keeps smiling. The exit you're crawling toward, quarter-mile ahead, it's blocked. We made sure of that. All the exits in this section, sealed from the other side. The only way out, he pauses, is through us. Chen fires 3 shots. All 3 hit Holloway center mass. The old infected jerks with each impact but doesn't fall, doesn't even seem bothered. Bullets don't work on us anymore. Too old, too changed. We're closer to the source now, closer to what we're becoming. Behind us, scratching, getting louder. The infected from the train, they're in the crawl space now, coming from behind, ahead. Holloway, 63 years transformed, blocking the path, behind 25 fresh infected, fast and hungry. Chen's flashlight is dying, battery low, the beam flickers. We're trapped, the businessman whispers.
We're all going to die down here. The maintenance worker shakes his head. No, there's access hatches between the walls, old ventilation system from when they first built this section. They're small, but... He looks at Emma. A kid could fit. Emma stares at him, then at me. Holloway speaks again. You would sacrifice yourselves for the child? How noble, how human. It won't matter. The exit's topside are compromised too. The city is falling even now. Your sacrifice buys her nothing but a few more hours of terror. The scratching is close. Maybe 30 seconds before the infected reach us. Decision time. Always another decision over and over again. It doesn't stop. We could try to fight past Holloway. Even if bullets don't work, maybe the axe would. Maybe we could get the others through while I hold him off. Or we could send Emma through the ventilation system. Let her escape alone while we... What, die here? Transform here? I look at Emma. She's stopped crying, watching me with those 2 old eyes. You promised, she says quietly. You promised you wouldn't leave us again. And that's when I realize I've been thinking about this all wrong. I turn to Chen. Give me your flashlight. What? Why? Just give it to me, now. He hands it over. The beam's weak, flickering, but enough. I shine it down, at the floor of the crawl space, at the metal panels beneath us. These aren't solid, they're grated. I can see through them. Below us, darkness. Another level, another tunnel. The businessman crawls forward to look.
That's the old water drainage system, condemned in the 80s. Floods during heavy rain. Has it rained recently? I ask. No. Dry for 3 weeks. Holloway's smile falters, just slightly. First time he's shown any reaction. You don't want to go down there. That's closer to the source, closer to where it lives. But you don't want us to go down there either, I counter, which means it's not part of your plan. The scratching is 15 seconds away. I can smell them now, the fresh, infected, rot, and hunger. Everyone hold on to something, I say. Then I raise the axe above my head and bring it down on the grated floor once, twice, 3 times. The metal gives, the grate falls away into darkness below. Holloway lunges forward, too late. Wait! I drop through the hole, into the dark, pulling Emma with me. We fall, and I'm in a tunnel, older than anything I've seen, brick walls covered in something organic, fungal,
glowing faintly with bioluminescent blue-green light. Above me, voices shouting, bodies dropping through. Chen, the businessman, the maintenance worker, the woman, all of us down here now, in the place Holloway didn't want us to go. And ahead in the tunnel, movement, shapes in the darkness. Not infected. Something else. Something worse. Emma grips my hand. The source, she whispers. We found the source. The shapes turn toward us, begin moving, coming closer. And I realize we didn't escape. We descended. The tunnel is ancient. Not 1960s ancient. Ancient, ancient. The bricks are hand-laid, irregular, styles I've seen in history books about the original city construction from the 1800s, maybe earlier, before the city had a name, before anyone knew what they were building on top of. The bioluminescent fungus covers everything.
Creeping across walls like veins, pulsing with that sickly blue-green light. It's warm. I can feel heat radiating from it. And it's growing as we watch, spreading across the brick in real time. Chen's voice barely controlled panic. What the hell is that? Infrastructure, the maintenance worker breathes. It's using the tunnel like infrastructure, growing along it, spreading. The shapes are getting closer. 3 of them. Walking upright but wrong, joints bent backward, movements fluid like they're underwater. As they enter the fungal light, I can see details I wish I couldn't. What they are. The other maintenance workers from 1963. Holloway's crew, but they've been down here longer, changed more completely. Their skin has merged with the fungus, blue-green growth erupting from eye sockets, mouths, any opening. Their coveralls are part of their bodies now. Fabric fused to flesh, zippers sprouting fungal blooms. They're not infected humans anymore. They're part of something else. The lead one speaks, voice like wind through wet caves. You shouldn't have come here. Marcus tried to warn you. The deep place isn't for the uninitiated. You're not ready for the truth. What truth? I demand, raising the axe. Like it matters, like I could fight this. The thing tilts its head. That you've always belonged to us, this city, built over our roots, growing fat with meat and fear. You thought you conquered the earth, built your towers, your tunnels, your monuments. It gestures at the fungal walls. But you only gave us more room to spread. The woman with the head wound collapses. Chen catches her. She's burning up, he says. Fever.
Hi. I look at the gash on her forehead. The blood has stopped flowing. The wound is changing. Tiny threads of blue-green growth sprouting from the edges. She's been infected. Not by the bitten infected topside, by being down here, breathing the air, touching the walls. The businessman backs away, hands over his mouth. The air. Oh God, it's in the air. We're breathing it. We're all, not all, the fungal thing interrupts. Some of you are compatible, some aren't. The ones who aren't will die quickly, reject the gift, but the ones who accept, it spreads its arms. Transformation, evolution, purpose. Emma's hand tightens in mine. She's staring at the woman. Miss Karen, are you okay? The woman, Karen, looks at Emma, tries to smile. Her teeth are turning grey. I'm sorry, sweetie.
I don't think I'm okay. The maintenance worker is examining the tunnel walls, not running, not panicking, working. There's ventilation, he mutters. Old system. These drainage tunnels had air circulation for the workers. If we can find the main shaft, it'll lead up to the surface. To clean air. There is no clean air, the fungal thing says. Not anymore. We've been seeding the city for decades. Spores in your water, your ventilation, your food. Tonight was just the activation, the signal for all the dormant infections to wake. Chen's gun comes up again, points at the thing's head. You're saying the entire city is infected? The entire city is ready. Most will die. Incompatible biology, but millions will transform, join the network, become part of something greater than your individual suffering. I'm thinking. Past the horror, past the fear, thinking like a transit officer who knows these tunnels. You're stalling, I say, but keeping us here, talking instead of attacking. The thing doesn't deny it. Because you can't leave, I continue. Can you? You've been down here 60 years. Changed too much. The surface would kill you. UV light, clean air. Whatever you've become needs this place, needs the dark, the damp. Its smile, if that stretched fungal opening can be called a smile, widens. Very perceptive, yes, we're bound here, guardians of the source. But you, it points at Karen, she will carry it up. They all will. Every infected person is a vector, a seed, spreading the transformation. Karen's breathing changes, becomes that wet, rattling sound. Javier, she whispers. Javier, I can hear them, all of them, everyone who's been transformed.
Their thoughts, their memories. It's beautiful and terrible, and I don't want to. Her eyes are going black, but not the blank, predator black of the infected topside. These are filling with something. Intelligence, malevolence, hunger that thinks. The maintenance worker shouts, "Found it! Ventilation shaft, 30 feet that way, there's a ladder." We all turn, see the rusted iron ladder built into the wall, leading up into darkness, a way out. The fungal things move to block the path, all three of them. "You won't make it," they say in unison. Same voice, three mouths. Karen will turn, attack you, and even if you reach the surface, the city is lost. You're just delaying the inevitable. Maybe, I say, but I'm good at delaying inevitable things. I look at the group, making calculations, horrible calculations. Emma, small bear, fast, uninfected. She can climb. Chen, armed, trained, can cover the climb. The businessman, terrified but mobile. He'll run when given the chance. The maintenance worker knows the systems essential for finding exits. Karen, she's infected, transforming, dangerous, and me, guilty, broken, but still standing. Chen, take Emma and go, now, climb fast, don't look back. What? No, we need to... Do it! I shove them toward the ladder. I'll hold them here. The businessman doesn't need to be told twice. He's already running for the ladder. The maintenance worker follows. Chen grabs Emma, lifts her. She's screaming now, kicking, reaching for me. Javier, please. Go, I tell Chen. Get her out. Get her somewhere safe. Tell her. My voice cracks. Tell her I kept my promise. I got her out. Chen nods, runs.
Emma's screams echo up the ventilation shaft. Now it's just me and Karen, and the three fungal guardians, in the deep place under the city. Karen's transformation is almost complete. She's standing now, head tilted, eyes black and aware. Javier, she says, but it's not her voice anymore. It's the voice of the thing speaking through her. You can't fight this, can't stop it. I know, I say, but I can slow it down. I look at the fungal walls, at the growth spreading across brick, at the infrastructure. Infrastructure, that's what the maintenance worker called it. The fungus is using the tunnels like infrastructure, growing along them, using the city's own systems against it, but infrastructure can be destroyed. I remember the flare gun still in my belt, one shot left. Karen, I say to whatever's wearing her face, I'm sorry, For what? The thing asks. For what I'm about to do. I fire the flare into the fungal growth on the walls. The phosphorus ignites. The fungus lights up like gasoline. Fire spreads across the walls. Blue-green flames mixed with white-hot chemical burn. The heat is instant, overwhelming. The three fungal guardians scream, not human screams, chorus screams, thousands of voices through three mouths. They're not just burning, the network they're connected to is burning. Every branch, every thread, every transformed host throughout the system. Karen collapses, the black drains from her eyes. For just a moment she's herself again. "Thank you," she whispers. Then the fire reaches her. The tunnel is an inferno. I'm running now, toward the ladder. Heat at my back. Smoke is filling my lungs. Behind me the screaming continues. Not just the guardians, I can hear it through the walls, through the earth, the source itself, deep beneath everything, burning. Maybe I didn't kill it, probably didn't, but I hurt it, made it feel what 43 people felt when my distraction killed them. Made it feel what 73 people felt when I sealed the door. Made it pay for Emma's mother, for Linda, for everyone. The ladder. I grab it, start climbing, metal hot under my hands. Below me the fire spreads, the fungal network screaming as it burns, the tunnel collapsing, brick falling, everything that was hidden in the deep place coming apart. I climb, lungs burning, arms shaking, climb toward voices above, Chen shouting, Emma crying, the maintenance worker calling coordinates. Climb toward the surface, toward light, toward whatever's left of the world. 20 feet east, 15, 10. The ladder shakes. Something's climbing behind me, fast, inhuman fast. I look down. Holloway. Pulled himself through the grate, followed us down. And he's climbing with 73 years of hunger in his eyes. You killed them, he hisses. Killed the guardians. Damaged the source. Will take years to recover. Years. 5 feet below me, gaining. Hands reach down from above. Chen, the maintenance worker, grabbing my arms, pulling. Holloway's hand grabs my ankle. I kick, hard. My boot catches his face. He doesn't let go. The maintenance worker hands Chen something. A pipe wrench, heavy iron. Chen brings it down on Holloway's fingers. Once, twice, 3 times. The grip breaks. Holloway falls, screaming, down into the burning tunnel, into the collapse, into the deep place he's been trapped in for 63 years. And then silence. I'm pulled up, out, into an alley. Nighttime. Cold air, real air, clean air. I collapse on concrete. Coughing, gasping, alive. Emma throws herself at me, crying. You promised. You said you wouldn't leave. I didn't. I manage between coughs. I'm here. I'm right here. Above us, sirens, helicopters, the sound of a city at war with itself. Chen is listening to a radio he pulled from a dead patrol officer. His face goes pale. The outbreak, it's everywhere. 30% of the metro system is overrun. Maybe 40% of the city. They're implementing full quarantine. Nothing in, nothing out. The businessman laughs, broken, defeated. We escaped the tunnels just to die in the streets. But I'm looking at Emma, at Chen, at the maintenance worker, at 3 people who are alive because I made a choice, because I didn't seal the door a second time, because I went down instead of staying paralyzed by guilt. 73 people died because of my choices. 4 people lived because of them, too. Emma's voice, quiet against my chest. What do we do now? I look at the burning city, at the chaos, at the end of the world spreading through streets I've known my entire life. And I smile. First time in 3 years. Now we survive. The alley opens onto Market Street. What I see stops me cold. The city is eating itself. Cars abandoned mid-intersection, doors hanging open, bodies in the street, some moving, some not. A police barricade overturned, officers nowhere to be seen, in the distance entire buildings burning, helicopters circling with searchlights hunting for something in the dark, and the screaming, God, the screaming never stops. Chen checks his radio, static, then fragments of transmissions. Metro station overrun, requesting immediate civilian casualties in the thousands, repeat, thousands. Military establishing perimeter at Highway 40, shoot on sight orders for someone, please respond, please, we're trapped in, The radio goes dead, battery finally giving out. Chen throws it against the wall. We need to move, get to the quarantine perimeter, military's setting up safe zones. How far? The maintenance worker asks. 3 miles, maybe 4. Chen looks at Emma, at me, still recovering from the climb. We won't make it before dawn, and when the sun comes up, an explosion, 6 blocks away. The ground shakes. What the hell was that? The businessman gasps. Military, Chen says. They're bombing the infected zones, trying to contain the spread. He pauses. We're in an infected zone. Emma pulls on my sleeve. We need to hide, find somewhere safe until we can move. Smart kid, smarter than most adults I know. I look around, liquor store with smashed windows, apartment building with the ground floor on fire, a parking garage that's still intact. There, I point at the garage. Upper levels, we can see the streets from there, wait for a clear path. We move, fast but quiet. Chen leading with his empty gun, still useful for bluffing. The street is full of evidence of what happened here. A child's backpack, contents spilled. A wedding ring in a pool of blood. A cell phone still playing a voicemail. Dad, where are you?
Something's wrong at the hospital. People are... Then static. Emma doesn't look at any of it. Keeps her eyes on my back. Following, trusting. The parking garage entrance. We slip inside. It's dark. Emergency lights casting green shadows. We take the stairs. Elevators are death traps. Climbing to the 3rd level. My legs are screaming. Lungs still raw from the smoke, but we make it. 3rd level parking, empty except for 24 abandoned cars. Chen checks vehicles, looking for keys. Most are locked. One SUV has keys in the ignition, but when he tries to start it, nothing. Dead battery. We're not driving out of this, I say. Then what? The businessman is pacing, panicking. We just sit here, wait for those things to find us or for the military to bomb us? A sound. From the stairwell, footsteps, multiple.
Coming up. Everyone freezes. Chen moves to the stairwell entrance, peering down. His face goes white. Infected. At least a dozen. They're searching floor by floor. The maintenance worker is already moving, checking cars, looking for something. We need weapons, tools, anything. I pop the trunk of a sedan. Inside, a tire iron, a roadside emergency kit with a knife, flares. Not much against a dozen infected, but more than nothing. Chen distributes what we have. Tire iron to the maintenance worker, knife to the businessman, flares to me. Emma, you stay behind us no matter what, understand? She nods, clutching that rabbit like it's a weapon too. The footsteps are on the second level now. We can hear them shuffling, searching, not the fast, frenzied infected from the train. These are different, methodical, patient, hunting. I remember Holloway's words for, "We've been preparing the feast." These aren't just mindless infected. They're organized, coordinated, part of the network. They're not random, I whisper. They're searching deliberately, like they know we're here. How? Chen hisses back. The fungus. It's a network. They share information. If one sees us, they all know. The footsteps stop. Silence. Worse than movement. Then a voice from the stairwell. Human. Too human. We know you're up there. We can smell the fear. Taste it on the air. Why are you hiding? Why delay the inevitable? It's wearing a police uniform. When it steps into view, I can see the nameplate. Officer Rodriguez. Rodriguez was Blue Line. I met him twice at interdepartmental meetings. Good guy, family man, 3 kids. Now his eyes are black.
Fungal growth creeping from his collar. And he's smiling. Javier Morales, transit officer, red line, derailment survivor. Rodriguez tilts his head. The network remembers you. 43 dead because you looked away. So much guilt. So much delicious guilt. He knows, the network knows everything about me. And Emma Chen, Rodriguez looks at her. 7 years old, mother transformed 3 hours ago, father deployed overseas, no one coming to save you, little girl. Except us? We can take the pain away. Make you part of something that loves you. Unconditionally. Emma's voice, small but defiant. My name's not Chen. It's Emma Rodriguez. Everything stops. I look at Emma. At Rodriguez. At the nameplate. Rodriguez's smile falters. Something flickers in those black eyes. Emma, baby, is that? His voice cracks. Becomes human for just a second. Oh God, Emma, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be, you should be. He's fighting it, the infection, the network, fighting for his daughter. Emma steps forward. I try to grab her. She pulls away. Daddy! Emma, no. Rodriguez's hands come up, not reaching for her, pushing her away. Run! Baby, you need to run. I can feel it in my head telling me to. His face twists, agony. Run! The other infected appear behind him. 11 of them, all wearing that same patient smile. One speaks. The network doesn't tolerate resistance. Individual bonds must be severed. They grab Rodriguez. He's screaming. Human screams, father screams, as they pull him back into the stairwell. Emma, run! Javier, get her out of here. Get my daughter out. Then his screams become something else. Not human.
Not infected, something in between. Emma is frozen, tears streaming. I grab her, pull her back. The other infected step forward. Rodriguez is gone. Dragged into darkness, and now 11 infected are advancing across the parking level. Chen fires. His gun isn't empty after all. He saved 1 bullet. Headshot. 1 infected drops. 10 left. We back toward the far wall. Nowhere to go. No exits on this level except through them. The businessman breaks, screaming, running toward the infected. Just take me, get it over with, I can't. They swarm him, pull him down. We don't watch. 9 infected left, still advancing. I light a flare. The bright red light makes them pause, not flee, just pause, evaluating the threat. The exit ramp, the maintenance worker shouts. Other side of the level, pedestrian walkway to the street. We run. Between cars, infected following, not running, walking, that patient, inevitable pursuit. The walkway exit, but it's blocked. A car crashed into the barrier, metal twisted, gap too small for adults. Emma looks at the gap, at me. I can fit. No, absolutely not. I can fit and unlock the emergency door from the other side. Let you through. The infected are 30 feet away. 20. Chen throws the tire iron, catches one in the head, slows it down but doesn't stop it. Emma, you promised you'd get me out. Her eyes lock on mine. This is how you do it. You let me help. No choice. Never any choice. I lift her. She squirms through the gap, drops to the other side. I can see her through the twisted metal, running to the emergency door, hitting the release bar. The door opens. We run through. Chen first, then the maintenance worker, then me. I'm pulling the door closed when a hand grabs my arm, infected, strong, pulling me back. Chen grabs my other arm, pulling the other direction. I'm being torn apart. The infected's face is inches from mine. Black eyes staring into my soul. It speaks with Rodriguez's voice. Tell Emma I love her. Tell her, the voice breaks, but tell her I tried to fight it. Then it lets go. I fall backward through the door. It slams shut. We're on the street. Running. Don't look back. Can't look back. Behind us, the infected are trapped in the garage. We can hear them screaming. Rage, frustration, hunger. But we're moving. Fast. Emma leading now, somehow knowing the way. This way. I remember, Daddy used to drive this route to work. We follow. Through streets that are war zones, past buildings burning, past bodies. Past survivors who don't see us because they're too busy running from their own horrors. 2 miles. The quarantine perimeter can't be more than 2 miles. A helicopter spotlight finds us, sweeps over, keeps moving. Looking for infected. We must look human enough. For now. Emma stops at an intersection, pointing. There, the checkpoint. I see it. Military vehicles, barriers, soldiers with rifles, a line of civilians being processed through. Safe zone. Safety. We're almost there. Then the ground shakes. Not an explosion. Something else. Something big. Moving under the street. The pavement cracks, splits. Something erupts from below. Fungal growth. Massive, tendrils as thick as trees, bursting through concrete, growing, spreading, creating a wall between us and the checkpoint. Chen stares. What the hell? The source, I breathe. We hurt it, but we didn't kill it. It's adapting, spreading topside. The fungal wall is growing, blocking every path to the checkpoint. In minutes, it will surround us completely. Emma looks at me. What do we do? I look at the fungal wall, at the checkpoint beyond it, at 3 people, depending on me to make the right choice. And for once, I know exactly what to do. We go through it. Chen stares at me like I've lost my mind. Through it? That thing is pure infection. Touch it and we're dead. We're dead if we stay here too. I point at the streets behind us. Infected are emerging from buildings, dozens of them, converging on our position. The network knows where we are. It's herding us. Either we go through the wall or we get swarmed. The maintenance worker is examining the fungal growth, not touching, just observing. It's still growing, expanding, moving like, he pauses, like it's breathing, pulsing. He's right. The wall isn't static. It's alive, contracting and expanding in rhythm, like lungs, like a heartbeat. Emma's voice, quiet but certain. It's scared. Everyone turns to look at her. What? Chen asks. The fungus. It's scared. That's why it's making walls, why it's hiding. She points at the checkpoint beyond. It's scared of them. The soldiers, the lights, the fire. I kneel down to her level. How do you know? Because Daddy told me, before he... She swallows hard. When he was fighting it. He said it was screaming in his head, screaming about the fire, about the burning, about what you did in the tunnel. The fire, when I lit the flare, when I hurt the source, the network remembers pain about, and it's terrified of experiencing it again. The checkpoint has floodlights, I realize, UV spotlights. Military uses them for decontamination. I look at the fungal wall. It's not trying to attack them, it's trying to avoid them. Which means there's a weakness, the maintenance worker says. Heat, light, fire. I still have 2 flares left from the emergency kit. If we burn a path through, the whole structure might collapse, Chen finishes. Or it might close around us, trap us inside. The infected are 2 blocks away now, moving faster. We can hear their collective voice, dozens of throats speaking in unison. Don't fight. Don't run. Accept the transformation. Join the network. End your suffering. Emma grabs my hand. I trust you. Whatever you choose. Those words, that trust, after everything I've done. Every way I've failed. I light the first flare. Red, phosphorus, burning white hot. Stay close. Don't breathe deeply. If anyone gets touched by the fungus, tell me immediately. I look at each of them. We don't leave anyone behind this time. I thrust the flare into the fungal wall. The reaction is immediate. The growth recoils, shrinking away from the heat. A gap opens, narrow, maybe 3 feet wide, edges of the wound smoking, burning, trying to close. Go, now! Chen goes first, protecting his face. Then the maintenance worker, then Emma. I follow last, holding the flare behind me to keep the path open or inside. The wall. It's like being swallowed. The fungal growth surrounds us, walls, ceiling, floor, all pulsing, all alive. The air is thick, warm, humid, like breathing inside a lung, and there are sounds, whispers.
Voices in the walls. Chen's voice muffled. I can hear them. Multiple voices saying my name. Don't listen, I shout. Keep moving. But I can hear them too. Dozens, hundreds, every person the network has absorbed, their memories, their personalities, all merged into the collective. And then I hear her, Sophia, my daughter's voice. Dad, why did you leave me? I freeze, can't help it. That's not real. The maintenance worker grabs my shoulder. It's the network using your memories against you. But it sounds so real, so much like her. You killed those people, and then you abandoned me, left me alone with Mom. You were supposed to protect us, and you failed. You always fail. My hands are shaking, the flare starting to sputter. Javier! Chen's voice cuts through. We need that light. Don't let it go out. I shake my head.
Clear the voices, focus, not real. Sophia's voice, but not Sophia. The the network pulling memories from my guilt. I'm sorry, I whisper. Not to the network, to the real Sophia, wherever she is. I'm so sorry for everything. The flare burns brighter. I push forward. We're halfway through, 10 feet into the wall, 10 feet to go. But the fungus is adapting, learning. The gap is closing faster now, walls pressing in. Emma screams, "Whoa! Something touched me!" I spin, see fungal tendrils wrapping around her ankle, small threads growing, burrowing. Chen pulls his knife, cuts the tendrils away. They writhe on the ground like severed worms. "Keep moving! Don't stop!" The maintenance worker is ahead. He's reached the other side. Open air, clean air. I can see the checkpoint, 50 yards. They're pointing weapons at us. Of course they are. We're coming out of an infected zone. Through a fungal wall, we look like threats. Chen reaches the exit, pulls Emma through, then turns back for me. But something's wrong. The flare, it's dying, burning out. And the fungal wall is closing, rapidly, growing over the gap. I'm 10 feet from the exit. 5, 3. The walls are pressing in, touching my shoulders, my back. I can feel them burning through my uniform. Acid, digestive enzymes. The fungus isn't just growing, it's trying to absorb me. Hands grab me from the other side. Chen, the maintenance worker, pulling. But the fungus has me too. Tendrils wrapped around my legs, my waist, pulling the other direction. I'm being torn apart again. The flare goes out. Darkness, total darkness, inside the fungal mass. And then I hear it. Not voices this time, one voice, massive, ancient. Speaking directly into my mouth, the source. "You hurt us, burned our children, killed our guardians. Why do you resist? Why do you fight?" "Because..." I gasp, can't breathe. The tendrils are around my throat now. "Because you're trying to kill everyone." Not kill, transform, improve. Your species is broken, fragmented, suffering. We offer unity, purpose, an end to pain. By taking away choice, by erasing who we are, individual identity is suffering. Memories are chains. We can free you, free everyone. Make the world perfect. Perfect. Like 43 people never died. Like I never made that mistake. Like guilt never existed. Tempting. God, it's so tempting. But then I feel Emma's hand, still gripping mine even as the tendrils pull me away. She's holding on, this 7-year-old girl who lost her mother, her father.
Everything. She's holding on to me, refusing to let go. My voice, raw and broken. You can't make the world perfect by destroying what makes us human. The pain, the guilt, the love, it all matters, it all counts. Then you choose suffering. I choose being human. I grab the second flare with my free hand, light it against my belt buckle. The flame ignites, bright, hot. I jam it into my own chest, where the tendrils have already penetrated my skin. The fungus screams, not with voices, with pure agony. The network, recoiling from the heat, burning from inside its own tissue. The tendrils release. I'm falling backward, into Chen's arms, into clean air. We collapse on the street, outside the wall. The fungal growth shrinking away from us, retreating into itself. Searchlights blind us, soldiers surrounding us, rifles aimed. Hands up!
Don't move! I can't move, can barely breathe. The flare burned through my shirt, my skin, second-degree burns across my chest. But I'm alive. A soldier approaches, checks us with a handheld scanner. The device beeps green for each person. Clear, they're not infected. The rifles lower, slightly. An officer steps forward, full hazmat gear, face shield. How the hell did you come through that wall? Fire, I manage. It's afraid of fire. The officer processes this, then speaks into his radio. Command confirmed weakness to thermal exposure. Recommend immediate deployment of incendiary protocol. Emma is next to me, still holding my hand, crying. You didn't leave me, you promised, and you didn't leave me. Never again, I whisper. I promise, never again. The officer is talking, giving orders. Processing us for decontamination. But I'm not listening. I'm watching the fungal wall. It's still there, still pulsing, still alive. We hurt it twice now, but we didn't kill it. And then I see something that makes my blood freeze. The wall is opening, not burning, not being forced. Opening deliberately. Something's coming through. Infected, but not the ones chasing us. Different ones. Hundreds of them. Pouring through the gap. All moving in perfect synchronization, all heading straight for the checkpoint. The officer sees them, screams into his radio. Breach! Mass breach! All units engage! Gunfire, explosions. The checkpoint dissolving into chaos. Chen grabs Emma, pulls her toward an armored vehicle. The maintenance worker follows. I try to stand. Fall! My legs won't work. The burns, the exhaustion, everything catching up. A soldier runs past, drops something, a rifle. I grab it. The infected are 50 yards away, 40, 30. And behind them, through the fungal wall, I see figures. The transformed ones. The guardians, whatever's left of them after the fire. They're not attacking. They're coordinating, using the infected as soldiers while they direct from behind. This isn't just an outbreak anymore. This is war. Emma's voice screaming from the vehicle. Javier, come on! The infected are 20 yards away. I look at the rifle, at the horde, at the impossible odds. 3 years ago I looked away for 4 seconds and killed 43 people. Tonight I looked straight at the horror and saved 4. I stand, legs shaking, but holding. Not enough, not nearly enough, but it's a start. I raise the rifle, take aim, and I don't look away. Come on. Then, I whisper, let's see what I can do in 3 years. The infected charge, I fire. And this time I don't miss. Gunfire, screaming explosions, the checkpoint is hell. I empty the first magazine into the closest infected. Headshots, center mass, whatever stops them. Soldiers are firing all around me, 50 rifles, 100, creating a wall of lead between the infected and the civilians behind us. But there are too many. For every one that falls, 3 more pour through the fungal wall. Chen is at the armored vehicle, screaming at me, Javier, get in! We need to go! But I'm not running. Not this time. A soldier falls next to me, throat torn out. I grab his ammunition, keep firing. The officer in the hazmat suit is coordinating on the radio. Air support, we need air support now. Target the fungal growth.
Hit it with everything! Negative, a voice responds through static. City Command has ordered full withdrawal. You're on your own. The officer rips off his helmet, face pale, disbelieving. They're abandoning us? Entire city is lost. Pulling back to secondary perimeter, you have 10 minutes to evacuate before they sterilize the zone. Sterilize. That's military speak for blow everything to hell. The officer looks at the civilians, maybe 200 people behind the barriers. Then at the infected horde. Then at me. We can't evacuate them all, not in 10 minutes. Then we buy them time, I say. Reload. Fire. Get as many out as you can. He stares at me, then nods. You heard him. Evacuate civilians. Priority to children and wounded. Move! Soldiers start loading people into vehicles. Emma is being pulled toward a truck.
She's fighting, screaming my name. Javier! No, you promised. Chen has her, holding her back. Our eyes meet across the chaos. Get her out, I mouth. He shakes his head. Not without you. Chen, get her out. He hesitates, then nods. Pulls Emma into the truck. She's screaming, reaching for me. But the truck is moving, disappearing into the smoke. Safe. She's safe. That's all that matters. The maintenance worker appears at my side, picks up a rifle. You don't have to stay, I tell him. Neither do you, he says, then fires. But here we are. The infected reach the barriers, hand to hand now. Soldiers fighting with knives, fists, anything. I'm out of ammunition. Switch to the knife from my belt. An infected lunges. I sidestep, drive the blade into its skull. It drops. Another one immediately takes its place. The maintenance worker goes down, tackled by 3 infected. I try to reach him. Can't. Too many bodies between us. His last words. Luis, I'm sorry, I should have... Then screaming, then silence. I'm alone now, fighting in a circle, infected on all sides. This is it, this is how it ends. Not in a train derailment, not sealed in a tunnel here. Fighting, choosing to stand instead of run. Not a bad way to go. Something hits me from behind. I go down, infected piling on, teeth snapping at my face. Can't breathe, can't move, this is it. Then light, blinding white light. And heat! An explosion, close, too close. The infected on top of me are thrown off, burning, screaming. I look up, see helicopters, military gunships, minigun fire tearing through the infected horde, napalm striking the fungal wall. The officer pulls me to my feet. Air support came through. They bought us 5 minutes. Let's go! We run. Last vehicle is leaving. A transport truck, already overloaded with civilians and soldiers. Someone grabs my arm, pulls me in. The truck lurches forward. Behind us, the checkpoint explodes. Fuel depot detonating. The fungal wall ignites. Massive, towering flames reaching toward the sky. The network screams. I can hear it even over the explosions. Thousands of voices crying out in agony as the fire consumes them, but it's not dying, just retreating, pulling back underground, surviving. The truck clears the quarantine zone. Soldiers at a secondary perimeter wave us through. We're outside, beyond the infected zone. I collapse against the truck bed, can't feel my legs, can't feel anything except exhaustion. A small hand grabs mine. Emma, she's here, crying, hitting my chest with weak fists. You promised! You said never again! I kept my promise, I manage. I got you out. But you could have... She can't finish, just cries. Chen is there too, bandaged but alive. The maintenance worker didn't make it, he says quietly. Well, Officer Rodriguez, Karen, the businessman, all of them. I nod, knew that already, felt it. But Emma's alive, Chen's alive, I'm alive, D. Out of 42 people on that train, 3 of us made it. 43 died in the derailment 3 years ago. 73 died tonight when I sealed the door. But 3 lived because I opened it again. The truck stops at a refugee center. Military medical tents, emergency response, chaos, but organized chaos. Medics pull me out, check my wounds, second-degree burns, cuts.
Bruises, exhaustion, but alive. Emma won't let go of my hand, even when they try to take her for examination. Just holds on. A doctor approaches, older woman. Kind eyes. You're Javier Morales, transit officer. We heard your story, what you did in the tunnels, at the checkpoint. She pauses. You saved a lot of people tonight. Not enough, I say. It's never enough, she agrees. But it's something, and sometimes something is all we get. She examines Emma. This is Emma Rodriguez. We've been trying to reach her father. She stops, sees Emma's face, understands. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Emma doesn't cry. She's cried enough, just holds my hand tighter. Can she stay with me? I ask. The doctor looks at Emma, at me, at our joined hands. Family? Yes, Emma says before I can answer. He's my family now. The doctor nods.
Makes a note on her tablet. We'll arrange temporary guardianship. There are a lot of orphans from tonight, a lot of people who lost everyone. She looks at me. You sure you can handle that? After everything you've been through? I look at Emma. This 7-year-old girl who lost her mother to infection, her father to the network, everything to the outbreak, who trusted me when I didn't deserve trust, who held my hand through literal hell. My voice, steady for the first time in 3 years. I can handle it. 3 days later, a recording device was found in Metro Transit Emergency Archive. This is Javier Morales, Transit Officer C-Line. If you're hearing this, you're either dead or you survived the outbreak. Either way, you need to know what happened. The infection didn't come from nowhere. It's been under the city for decades. Maybe centuries. Something ancient. Something that learned patience. It used our infrastructure against us. The metro system became its nervous system. The tunnels became its veins. The military firebombed the infected zones. 30% of the city is gone. Burned to ash. The fungal network retreated underground. Back to the deep place. It's not dead. Just wounded. Waiting. They're building new barriers, new containment, sealing the old tunnels permanently. They say it'll hold, that we're safe. I don't believe them. The network is patient. It waited 60 years before. It can wait 60 more, or 100, or 1,000. Time doesn't mean anything to something that old. Sound of footsteps. A child's voice in the background. Javier, are you coming? But here's what I learned. We can't stop the darkness. Can't prevent every tragedy. Can't save everyone. 3 years ago, I killed 43 people because I looked away. Last week, I saved 3 people because I didn't. The math doesn't balance. Never will. 43 lives lost. 3 lives saved. The equation stays broken. But those 3 lives matter. Emma matters. Chen matters. I matter. And maybe that's the point. Not to make the world perfect, not to erase the guilt or undo the mistakes, just to stand up when everything's falling apart. To hold someone's hand in the dark. To choose human suffering over inhuman peace. They're calling me in. The Transit Authority wants me to help redesign the emergency protocols. How to evacuate faster, how to seal infected areas, how to prepare for next time, because there will be a next time. The network is still down there, growing, waiting, learning from what we did. And when it comes back, it'll be stronger, smarter, harder to stop. But so were we. 3 years ago, 43 people trusted me to get them home. I failed them. I'll carry that failure until I die. Last week, 3 people trusted me to get them out. I succeeded. That's not redemption, not forgiveness, not balance, but it's proof that failure doesn't have to be the end of the story. Emma's voice again. Javier, I made breakfast. It's probably terrible, but you have to eat it anyway. I laugh. First time in 3 years it sounds genuine. I'm coming, Emma. I'm coming. If you survived, stay vigilant. Watch the ground. Watch the walls. If you see fungal growth, report it immediately. If you see someone acting strange, don't hesitate. Don't wait. Don't give it time to spread. And if you're in the metro, count the passengers on every single one. Know who's on your train. Know who you're responsible for, because every life matters, every single one, even when the math doesn't balance. Javier Morales, transit officer, signing off. See you on the other side.
Final transmission. This is a message from the Metro Transit Emergency Response Network. The outbreak resulted in catastrophic casualties and infrastructure damage. The fungal infection source has been contained but not eliminated. All citizens are advised to report suspicious activity in underground structures immediately. We owe our survival to the brave transit officers, first responders, and civilians who fought to protect others during the crisis. The fungal network remains active in sealed sections beneath. All metro tunnels have been reinforced with thermal sensors and UV sterilization systems. Casualty count from the outbreak, 47,293 confirmed dead, 12,847 missing, presumed transformed. Emma Rodriguez, age 7, was adopted by Javier Morales 3 months after the outbreak. Officer David Chen was promoted to Metro Transit Emergency Response Commander. The body of Marcus Holloway, maintenance supervisor, was never recovered from the deep place. His voice was last heard on emergency channels 6 months after the outbreak. He's still down there, waiting. To everyone who survived, your story matters. Your voice matters. We need to hear what you saw, what you learned, how you survived. If you have information about the outbreak, if you lost someone, if you want to share your story, we're listening. Would you have made the same choices? Could you forgive yourself for the lives lost while saving the ones you could? Should we go back down there and finish what we started? Tell us, because next time we need to be ready. And there will be a next time. Stay vigilant, stay human, and never stop counting the people you're responsible for.